welcome back to my YouTube channel, and thank you for joining me for this 20-minute morning stretch and energizing flow. Let's start in extended child's pose. The knees will come as wide as the mat, and we're just going to stretch forward, bringing our hands to the mat. You can rest your forehead on the mat and rest here in this position for a few minutes. Bring your focus to the breath, taking a lovely deep inhale, and exhale, release any tension your body is holding. This is your 20 minutes to relax and focus on the present moment before starting your day. Maybe set an intention for the practice or the day ahead. Maybe there's a mantra you can repeat to yourself throughout the practice and as you move through the day. Let's go ahead and take another lovely deep inhale and exhale. Let it all go. Let's start to move through the flow now. So we're going to slowly push ourselves up out of child's pose and come into a tabletop position. The knees will be directly below the hips and the hands directly below the shoulders with the fingers spread widely. Head is lifted and we'll go for some wrist circles here, just moving forward to the side, back, through the other side and back to the front. Warming up the wrists and the shoulders and change direction. Coming back to center, let's go ahead and raise the left hand and bring it under the right hand. We're going to thread the needle. Extend the right palm to the top of the mat, and the weight should be on the left shoulder, creating a lovely twist and stretch through the back and the side body. Inhale and exhale. Lovely. On your next exhale, let's slowly come back through center, coming back to tabletop, and we'll go for the other side, lifting that right hand and threading it through under the chest, and extend that left hand out towards the top of the mat. Feeling that lovely stretch through the spine and the side body and the hips. Inhale and exhale. Come back to center in tabletop position. From here, let's go ahead and lift the left leg, and we'll just make some circles with the hip, creating those circles with the knee. Moving through this movement, warming up the bones and the muscles around this area through the glutes. Lovely, changing direction. And at the end, let's go ahead and flex, curling through the toes on that left foot and pushing back into that stretch. Warming up through the feet and through the legs. Lovely, and come back to tabletop position and we'll go for the other side. Lifting the right knee, making those circles one direction. Again, focusing on the breath. Lovely, and change direction. If you hear any clicks here, that's completely normal. It's just the body adjusting, and the more we do these movements, the more our body will be used to them. Again, let's flex the right toes, curling the toes and pushing through that stretch, through the legs and the feet. Taking a lovely deep inhale and exhale, coming back through center. From here, while we're in tabletop position, let's move through some cat-cows. On an inhale, drop the belly, lift the head and open the chest. Exhale, arch through the back, drop the head. Inhale, drop the belly and lift the head. Exhale, arch the back. Inhale, lower the belly. And from here, let's slowly take any movement we feel our body may need. Maybe adjust the hands and the knees. Maybe open the knees up so the stance is a little bit wider to give yourself a base, and move through the hips and the shoulders. Anything at all you can feel your body is craving. Making waves through the spine, pushing back through the hips, and eventually coming back to tabletop position. We're then going to curl the toes under with both feet, and we'll push up just a few inches off the mat and hover here for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and push up through the hips, through the knees, into our first downward facing dog. From here, let's take a lovely deep inhale and exhale. Release any tension, relax the forehead. This is our first downward dog. Maybe pedal out the feet, bending the knees, curling the toes, moving through the hips, and let's go ahead and slowly walk to the top of the mat. And from here, slowly roll up through the spine and give the shoulders a few little rolls when you get to the top here. Tuck the pelvis, engage the core, and from here, let's go ahead and move through some sun salutations. Let's raise the hands above the head, bringing the palms to touch. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, your version. Exhale, let's plant the palms and step one foot back and the other, coming into a high plank before dropping the knees, lowering through, bringing the belly to the mat, and push up through cobra. On your next exhale, lower to the mat. Inhale, push up through high plank and into downward dog, raising the hips up towards the ceiling. And take a few breaths here. Lovely. Inhale and exhale, walk to the top of the mat, coming into your version of halfway lift, lifting the head, the back is straight. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, raise the hands up above the head, bringing the palms to touch. Exhale, release, arms can hang by the sides. Again, raise the hands above the head, palms come to touch. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms, step one foot back and the other, coming into high plank. Lower through the knees and through onto the belly and lift up to cobra. On your next exhale, release, lower down to the mat. Inhale, curl the toes under, push up through high plank and up through downward dog. Hips are reaching towards the ceiling. Inhale and exhale. Let's slowly walk to the top of the mat. Coming into halfway lift, your version. Exhale, forward fold, again your version. Raise the hands above the head. Inhale, palms come to touch. Exhale, release. Hands come to the sides. From here, we're going to raise the right leg and we're going to step it back on a 45-degree angle. The front leg will be bent and hips are pointing forward. Tuck the pelvis, engage the core and raise hands above the head. Coming into warrior one. Inhale and exhale. With the breath, on your next exhale, let's pivot on the back leg. Foot will come in line with the mat. Front leg is still bent and arms come into a T position. Warrior two. Engage the core and straighten the back. Drop the shoulders. From here, let's reach forward and then lean backwards into a reverse warrior. The right hand can come to the thigh or bind it round the side, holding onto that left hip. Moving back through, cartwheel the hands down, plant both palms on the mat, and we'll go for a side stretch, lifting that left hand up towards the ceiling. Plant the palm, step the left foot back, and move through your vinyasa. Either lower through the knees onto the belly, or take chaturanga if it's in your practice. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, lower back to the mat, curl the toes under, push up through high plank into downward dog. Taking a lovely, deep, energizing breath here. Exhale, let's walk to the top of the mat. And slowly roll up through the spine. Lovely. We'll go for the other side now. So taking a lovely deep inhale, step that left foot back on that 45-degree angle. Bending the front leg and straightening the hips towards the front of the mat. Engage the core, straighten through the back and raise the hands above the head. Warrior one. Inhale and exhale. Let's pivot on that back foot, bringing it in line with the back of the mat. Moving into warrior two. Hands are going to come to the T position. Tuck the pelvis, engage the core. Inhale, let's reach forward and fold backwards into our reverse warrior, either bringing that right hand to the thigh or bind it round to the right hip. Cartwheel the hands forward through warrior two. Plant the palms and let's go for a side stretch, reaching that right hand up towards the ceiling. Plant both palms on the mat, step the right foot back, coming into our high plank, and lower through your vinyasa, either bringing the knees, then the belly to the mat, or move through chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, release back to the mat, curl the toes under and push up through plank, up to your downward dog. Inhale and exhale. Slowly walk to the top of the mat. And go ahead and slowly raise up through the spine to come into mountain pose. Lovely. On an inhale, raise the hands overhead and slowly drop down to a forward fold, stepping the right foot back and the left foot back to come into downward dog. Take a few breaths here before raising the right leg towards the ceiling in three-legged dog. Move through and bring that right foot in between the palms at the top of the mat, lowering the left knee, coming into low lunge. Stretch through the hips. The hands can be raised overhead or simply sit with them on your hips. We're just aiming to open the hips here. Push through the stretch. Lovely, and slowly let's move through to straighten the front leg, flex the foot to come into runner's stretch. Lovely, moving back through, let's step the right foot back to meet the left at the back of the mat, come back into downward dog. On an inhale, raise the left leg up to the ceiling in three-legged dog. And bring it through slowly to be planted in between the palms, lowering the right knee to come into that low lunge on the opposite side. Either raise the hands above the head or they can sit on the hips, pushing through the stretch, opening up the hips. And on your next exhale, let's move through, straighten the front leg and flex the toes and the feet in our runner's stretch. Lovely. Now moving back through, we're going to move that left foot back to meet the right foot at the back of the mat, moving back in through our downward dog. Take a lovely deep inhale and exhale. And from here, let's slowly move onto our knees, onto the mat, and come into a seating position with our legs crossed. Hands can come to the knees. Take a lovely deep inhale. Exhale, lifting the hands above the head, palms come to touch, and lower them to the third eye. Take a lovely deep inhale as we bow our heads. Take a second to bring our focus to gratitude for this practice and for the day ahead. Move through your day with love and positivity. Thank you so much for joining me for this practice, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day. Bye.